So my vocabulary strategy was semantic feature analysis. That's so cool. Alright, with this strategy you make a grid, kind of like that one that I just put up there. And on the left side going down, you're going to list your words, your vocabulary words, for instance, like the one I made, car, truck, motorcycle, bicycle, all different types of vehicles. And then on the top, you're going to list features that could either be for one of these vehicles or all of these vehicles, or none of them, it doesn't matter. But like, for instance, two-door, that can be a car, so it could also be a truck. I'll explain more in just a minute. Okay, so the middle of the grid is like totally blank when you start with your students. And then as they begin to fill it out, you put a plus if the word and the feature match, and you put a minus if they do not, and if you really don't know, you just leave it blank. Before you add anything like this to your students, though, you're going to want to make sure you do an example run first, as with anything with students. You want to explain in detail how this works, more detail than I just explained, but we also read it in the textbook, which I'm assuming everyone did, so maybe that's not a good assumption. Okay, and so yeah, the blank shows whether a student believes the vocab word fits with that attribute. And the plus and the minus, or the leaving it blank. I'm just going to use this now. Okay. Very important that students do the assigned reading before you give them something like this, because if they don't do the reading, they're obviously not going to bother. They're going to either guess or leave everything blank, which will not foster good classroom discussion. And again, the completed grid and how to do it needs to be shown to the class well before they're actually doing this on their own. And oh man. Does anyone know how
I think there's a hyperlink.
You should be able to do like control and then click it.
Oops.
Try escape. That'll get you on the...
Yeah, oh, right. Like if you
paste.
Here you go, and then just, see if we...
Alright. It's just an example of one. For the internet to load up. Sorry guys. This is the first time I've used any sort of other technology besides PowerPoint in my presentations here. Oh, cool.
Oh.
Okay, so this is just one really good example that I found a lot more complicated and instructive than my example. But you have something for science. They also have math ones. I mean, if you just go on Google, there's tons and tons of examples that you can look at. You can do it with any content subject. But like you have biomass, coal, geothermal, hydropower. You have all the different types of energy. And then you have used to generate electricity, used for transportation, kinetic energy, and renewable. Now, honestly, I have no idea what would be in this column. Oh wait, I think wind would.
There you go.
I think that's something about moving.
Hydro.
Anyways, I just thought that was a really good example. And then I'll go back to my, let's see, slide. Okay. The benefits with this type of strategy is it's focusing on distinguishing between related ideas, especially if you're doing a pretty vocab-heavy content lesson. It's I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry. It also also fosters communication among students throughout the class and the teachers, because as you're working on this, you're also discussing as a class, and also the teacher is able then to go to individual students who are leaving a lot of blanks. That's how they can see whether they're actually getting the material or not, is if they're leaving a lot of blanks or not. It creates connections between these words rather than just simply defining them. Like, for instance, a car and a truck, they both have motors, and a motorcycle, but a bicycle does not. That's a key difference between bicycles and motor vehicles. It creates relationships, and then you can group them in different ways. It helps students understand a little bit better rather than just know exactly the term's definition. It also allows a teacher to judge how well students know an individual topic, and I like this. This is from one of the articles I read researching this, but the author said that the students are interacting with the words themselves, and I like that because it brings it a little bit more alive, and it makes it easier in your head to remember what's going on, what's what. That's the wrong way. Okay, and there are my references. Any questions?
Good job.
That is a really terrible example. I really wanted to do one